Yo, what's up, guys? Man, we're back with another video. Hold up. Let me just go to this real quick. So today, bro, this is gonna be a sad one, but today it's gonna be how Nadia went from Warzone Pro to an OnlyFans. When I was younger, I mean, not even younger. When I was, it was called again. I think back in like 2022. Yeah, 2022 when Prime Warzone was kind of happening. I really used to watch Nadia. Like she low-key was entertaining though. But well, y'all gonna see in the video. We're gonna see. But alright, let's get into this rundown.
When people talk about cheaters in the gaming industry, their careers usually end after they've been exposed, with them getting banned from the game and a viral clip of them cheating usually being the last people ever hear of them. I mean, you can go and ask Clara.
Wait, what the f? Clara!
But very rarely does someone manage to turn cheating allegations into an entire career, managing to still even get invited to gaming tournaments. And if that sounds insane, well, that was the life of Nadia. But somehow, even after defying all of the odds, she still managed a way to fumble it, practically losing all of her viewers, having to launch a career in more unsavory parts of the internet. So the question is, what exactly happened to Nadia and how did she end up this way? Well, to figure that out, we first have to go back to 2021, which was the era of Call of Duty Warzone.
Yeah,
During this time period, Call of Duty Warzone was peaking, with the game amassing over 100 million registered players, and in-game events garnering streams of over 1 million people watching at the same time.
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete site in just a single prompt with Wix Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible. Or Vibe.
And when a game has an audience and player base of that size, that means it is a perfect opportunity for new content creators. And on June 28th of 2021, Nadia would take advantage of that, posting her first video titled, "This female gamer just beat the world record." In this video, she claims to drop 44 kills in a Warzone match to get a new world record. And being that she was a girl, this would start to gain her a lot of attention. And as a result of this attention, she would continue going down this path months later, with her first stream on Twitch claiming that she matched the world record in kills, with her getting 47 in one match. Now, as we know by now, just being good at the game won't grant you an audience. However, if you're a semi-attractive girl, that kinda cancels that out. Obviously, competitive gaming is a male-dominated field, so when someone like Nadia comes along and brands herself as the best female Warzone player, she was able to easily etch out her own lane. You can also see this branding in a bunch of her early titles on YouTube videos, like Best Female Player, 27 kills Fortunes Keep Solos, Female World Record, 45 kills Fortunes Keep, and a bunch of other videos. And these videos weren't specific to YouTube, because at the same time, she was also growing her TikTok, where she posted a bunch of her skill gameplay like 3v1 clutches, 4v1 clutches, and TikToks where she leaned into the cute gamer girl aesthetic.
All gamer girls are ugly or fat.
Yeah, I can't play this part because of copyright, but you guys get the point. She was leaning into an audience that's very easy to gain a following in. And as you can probably guess, the comments were a bunch of thirsty guys saying things like, "Sheesh, let's play though. Sims assemble. Alright, bet. So when we playing? I'm on every day. Catch some vibes and some dubs." And through this kind of marketing, mixed with the skilled gameplay, over time, she was able to amass a large following. Her videos began pulling in tens of thousands of views, and as Call of Duty Warzone continued to grow in popularity, so did her audience. Her streams on Twitch also started to grow exponentially. From this chart, you see that her average views were relatively low for a while, and then there was a sharp increase where she started to gain and average thousands of viewers at a time, with her peak around this time being a max of 14,000 viewers. And all of this was simply from Warzone. She even started catching the attention of people who were OGs in the Call of Duty space like FaZe Rug, with him responding to a tweet about her saying, "Dude, she's actually so good. I see her stuff on TikTok all the time and she's insane." And with recognition like that, I think it's valid to say that Nadia was becoming a staple in the Warzone community. However, this is also around the time where things started to take a turn. Because although things for her numbers-wise and reputation-wise were increasing, rumors about her gameplay throughout the internet started to spread, and they were spreading fast. A lot of her viewers and critics alike began slowing down her clips and watching them very closely frame by frame, and pointing out instances where her aim and tracking looked very suspicious. You can see on this Reddit post under the forum r/streamers cheating, where the viewers clipped Nadia's gameplay and discussed whether or not she was using cheats because her aim seems to look like it's snapping. For a bit of context, snapping is a term often used when talking about cheaters in shooters because it refers to the player's crosshair instantly locking onto the enemy in a way that looks unnaturally fast and like precise. And this usually only happens when the person has aimbot. Here's an example of someone on TikTok showing off their own custom aimbot. And I want you guys to remember how this gameplay looks because we're going to compare this to the Reddit clip that they posted for Nadia. And the only thing that's really important here is you can see how the crosshair locks onto the enemy and it doesn't leave. Now, if we compare this footage to Nadia's, we kind of see the same exact thing. As you can see from this clip, Nadia's crosshair locks onto the other enemies after she's done shooting. And the person who clipped this even put it in different forms of slow-mo just to emphasize the point. In the comments, another person even had something similar to say when they said, "I tuned into her stream based on Twitch recommendations today. This was the first game I watched. Turned her channel off after I saw this. Watch her aim drag towards the player through walls." And I'm pretty sure they're talking about this clip right here, where her crosshair drags to where the person is behind the wall, even though there's no possible way she could have known that the person was there. There were even critics that attempted to identify the kind of aimbot Nadia was using, with their best guess being that she had lower torso aim, which stemmed from the fact that she usually shot people in the stomach.
She had like 40 kills, just lower torso. And if you watch Stir Fox gameplay of it, it looks exactly the same. There's no difference. So there's no such thing as lower torso aimbot. There is aimbot set to the lower torso.
And after some of these critics would actually download an aimbot to test this theory, putting the settings on stomach aim, the results would be eerily similar to Nadia's gameplay.
How did I get bombs? I mean hacks. I don't really think that was a promise. That was just...
So now that we know what the aimbot version looks like, let's compare this to Nadia.
Hey, Richard.
Go up to our left or
I got him. 40, 40, 40.
Yeah,
I hope he doesn't kill me. Hey, one's where?
low right.
For some reason, her tracking and aim looks perfectly tailored towards the lower half of the body, which is exactly what the critics were saying. And surprisingly enough, this wasn't even the only aimbot test critics tested on Nadia's gameplay, because in another scenario, they tested Nadia's aimbot for snapping on certain parts of the map.
So right here, Nadia aimbot was about to pick up this player that was in front of her, and then her aim violently starts hitting the rock, not passing the rock at all, but just starts hitting right to the edge. And if you actually continue watching, you would realize that Nadia did not even notice there was a player there until she looked up at the minimap.
Tino RW's argument is that Nadia's aimbot picked up on someone even before she realized it, and as a result, that caused her aim to violently snap to the right without her even realizing it. So as a result, he decided to download aimbot himself to test this theory. And surprise, surprise, when he tested, he got almost an identical match to Nadia's gameplay.
Now here, Stir Fox has his aimbot set to friendlies, and you can already see that his aimbot is doing the exact same thing that Nadia's aimbot was doing, trying to lock onto my player model behind the rock and him not shooting, just to see if the same pattern would occur. And if you actually play these side by side, which I will do, you can see that her aim literally lines up in the exact same position.
Ship is on fire.
Using the exact same gun.
So based on some of these theories and tests alone, there was definitely a valid argument that Nadia was cheating in her streams. However, although all of these people from around the internet accuse her of cheating, at the end of the day, these were still just allegations. Regardless though, it seemed like Nadia wanted to clear the air. So because of that, Nadia would respond to the cheating allegations in a YouTube video titled, "The Truth About Me Cheating."
Hi YouTube, in this video I really want to address the cheating allegations that are made against me.
To sum up this video, firstly, Nadia completely denies cheating altogether and explains that she's just good at the game.
I want to first say that I have never cheated and I never will.
She also goes into the point that she's been playing Call of Duty for a long time and that she's just now only being accused of cheating because she's blowing up in popularity. She also attributes a lot of the cheating allegations to the fact that she's a woman, arguing that much of the backlash comes from sexism within the male-dominated gaming space rather than from legitimate concerns about her gameplay.
I also do want to talk about the problem that is going around of me being a female in a male dominant industry. I know that many people in the community, many guys, Zealanders, Swag, a bunch of them, get accused for cheating. But the backlash that I've received over these allegations are not nearly as brutal as what a man would get. The harassment I've been getting is not because I am cheating, as they say. A lot of it is go wash the dishes, go make me a sandwich. It's the same old jokes that were used in like 1960s that are still being used. Are they saying these things because they think I'm cheating? Or are they saying these things because they don't like watching women do better than them in a male dominant industry? I think that's really the question, because even before these cheating allegations started, the sexism in this community never slowed down. It was always there, and it became more prominent as my following started to grow.
And while some people may disagree that sexism played a role in some of the backlash she was receiving, it's definitely still worth acknowledging, because there is a problem with harassment toward women in gaming. The only problem with this response is that she never really dissected the clips that people were talking about. She just blamed it on sexism and called it a day. And as a result, the video was heavily disliked, with it having 22,000 dislikes. But it should be noted that regardless of all the dislikes, the response to this video online definitely wasn't one-sided. Because on one hand, you had a lot of positive comments that were encouraging her, with people saying she's speaking facts, or they just haters keep doing what you're doing. There was also a bunch of women online coming to her defense, because from their eyes, they could understand the sexism in the gaming industry. One even wrote an article titled, "Call of Duty dipshits won't stop accusing Warzone's top female streamer of cheating," which is obviously a very biased titled article because it essentially labels anyone with criticism stupid. And this kind of discourse between the two sides of whether or not she was cheating would go on for a while until it ultimately reached a tipping point. And that tipping point would be when Nadia would compete in an in-person Modern Warfare 2 LAN tournament. As usual, when companies are scheduled to release a game soon, they usually give popular creators in the space early access to show it off and hype it up. And with the release of Modern Warfare 2's Warzone 2.0 coming out soon, they invited a bunch of creators to compete in a LAN tournament. And since at the time Nadia was one of the top female streamers, she was also invited.
Yo, what's up, TikTok? Listen up. Call of Duty flew me and some other creators out that you might know to LA to play the newest game, MW2 and Warzone 2. So make sure you click here so you can watch me smoke these two.
You thought I was feeling you? You would have thought.
And with this tournament happening at the height of Nadia's cheating allegations spreading online, it would either make or break her career, and I'll explain why. Up until this point, Nadia's crazy high skill and skillful games, whether in regular lobbies or tournaments, were all done in the comfort of her home, on her own setup, which at the time, a lot of critics believed could be hiding hacks. However, the only difference with this tournament is that this would be in person on a standard computer monitored by officials, meaning there was no possible way for her to cheat here. There was also the added bonus that since this was a LAN tournament and LAN stands for local area network, there would virtually be no lag or connection problems. In other words, from bad connection to aimbot, there was literally no excuses. So if Nadia performed well here, all of her critics would be silenced and no longer have any ammo that she was cheating. But on the other hand, if she played terribly, she could no longer deny the cheating allegations. And the people in her TikTok comment section knew this, with some of the comments being, "Aimbot doesn't work there," or "Your skill level better not change." 36,000 likes. You know you're not allowed to use a VPN when you play them, right? 77,000 likes. So obviously, there was a lot riding on the line here for Nadia, and it was her time to finally prove herself. But even before the tournament had begun, Nadia had already started making excuses, giving all of her viewers a foresight as to what was about to happen.
I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. Yesterday, they gave us a rehearsal time, okay? Come here and play. I did not play at all. I'm probably the only person in this room that has not played the game once. So if you guys see me play like dog shit, it's because one, I haven't played at all.
Whoa.
What's that?
I just built a budgeting app with Base 44. Guys, Nina just built a...
I have not touched this game, and two, I was not allowed to bring my Cronus.
Now some people might hear this and say that she's making excuses because she's about to play bad. And if you were one of those people, you would be correct, because Nadia then proceeded to play terrible in this tournament, putting on the worst performance her viewers have ever seen from her.
I think
going 4-15, which is tied for the bottom of the leaderboard when she's supposed to be the top female player. And it only gets worse from here, because while actually watching her gameplay, you start to realize that she doesn't actually know how to aim.
no, please don't.
Like, how on earth does she play like this at the tournament when at home she plays like this?
Yo, like, the fuck? Bro, like, I'm even better than that. What the hell?
Don't go.
Oh, wait, I thought I was...
Oh my god.
Literally hitting every shot on a person ascending up a rope. And it wasn't just aim that was the problem, it seemed to be a complete misunderstanding of how to play the game in general, with her even starting to shoot at her own teammates.
This guy was talking to his shot.
The amount of time she shot at her own teammates was insane. Then her team had a UAV active and she still jumped around corners aiming in the other direction. And my favorite is every time she missed her shot, instead of shifting the joystick over to the line with the enemy, she just kept shooting air as if that sticky aim was going to kick in and snap onto the target. Because her performance was so bad, people instantly started making videos comparing to how differently she plays at home versus how she's playing here. And the differences were insane. She eventually gets the kill, but the aim at the beginning is completely off.
You're just a silly goose, aren't you?
Yeah, her aim here is crazy. But as you guys can see, this is why she was being accused of cheating. And after this tournament, they sounded a lot more...
It's also not about a gun either, though. It's not about a gun, though. So it's
reasonable. As a result of this event, the hate for Nadia tenfolded, with every theorist that alleged she was cheating before feeling completely validated after her horrid performance. And in response, since Nadia knew denying any of the allegations at this point would be futile, she decided to sarcastically play into them, regularly making videos and TikToks talking about how she's cheating and using aimbot.
I decided to turn off the aimbot for one day to see what I do, and I hit one of the nastiest clips you'll ever see. So maybe this clip right here will change your mind about me and show you why I am the best Warzone player, even without cheats.
And honestly, this became a genius marketing strategy and a new normal for her. Instead of denying the cheating allegations, she would just use them to title her videos and TikToks. And since she was already receiving a lot of hate comments, this was also used for engagement bait. And in the short term, it was a pretty good idea. However, even though she was getting smart with her marketing, as Warzone became less popular, so did her streams, with her having a steep decline in average viewership starting after November of 2022. And since she never really had a core audience, mainly people just hate watching, when the game decreased in popularity, she never really had a community to fall back on, which ultimately meant she would either need to find a way to be entertaining and develop a community or get left behind. And as a result, she completely quit Warzone, dropping the whole top female gamer act, and became a full-time hot tub streamer, completely killing any kind of small audience she did have and replacing it with men who wanted to see her in a bikini.
Well, it's not even just hot tub streamer, it's actually kick streamer, from being honest. It's kind of sad.
She even managed to quickly adapt into the honor.
I mean, shoot. She was already feeling off, so I guess she had no choice, but she could have changed her content.
Clickbait title and thumbnail combo, with new titles saying, "My crush has to do this if I win on Warzone," and "Ezra caught me cheating while they're all in bikinis." And while this new style of content did gradually seem to revive her streaming career, it did for all the wrong reasons. Even taking a look at her most popular clips on Twitch, it reveals what kind of content she became known for.
Y'all dared me and I got rejected. I don't know what to do. Like that was a dare. I got dared, right?
Yeah, we're not watching this, but you guys get what they did. Her content became freaky. That's as simple as it gets. And in the midst of this new freaky era of hers, with her posting increasingly revealing pictures on Twitter, she also decided to join a platform like OF called Fan House. And on that platform is where she would post exclusive 18+ content, which was met with a lot of backlash from the general public, with the fall off officially being recognized. A little bit after this arc, she did try returning to Call of Duty and Warzone, as you can gradually see her content start to shift back to COD. However, the viewership never recovered. She was even set to appear at a Delta Force streamer event alongside a bunch of skillful shooter streamers. However, due to all the backlash they were getting, they wound up taking her off the promotion, with Nadia claiming she was blacklisted from the event because of the bikini taking her off the.
Bro, who the fuck is this right here? What does that say? Cream the Rabbit? What the fuck? What the fuck is that?
Promotion.
Wait.
With Nadia claiming she was blacklisted from the event because of the bikini pictures she started posting. Which kinda leads us to where we are today, with Nadia not really having an identity and her viewership slowly falling off, with Nadia being in a constant decrease in viewership since April of 2025. And with her now focused on playing games again after nuking her audience with the bathtub streams, I'm not sure how well she's going to be able to build a community.
Games went.
Oh shoot. Alright, well, man, that was it, man. It was kind of sad I see Nadia fell off, but yeah, very sad video. Oh, I know I kind of did with my chair up higher though, so I do gotta fix my camera with that, maybe like this. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy, man. Make sure you guys like and subscribe for more videos. We hit a actually I'm finna show y'all that. Okay. I posted a lot of shorts right now. I'm starting to go back to them, making more shorts again. But as I see, we hit 114 subscribers, man, and I'm really glad we did. But as said and done, hope you guys enjoy. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Peace.